10 Down WJ presents The Unconditional Bond. John Harper had always been a man of routine. Every morning, he would wake up at the crack of dawn, brew a pot of coffee, and head to his small accounting firm in the heart of the city. He prided himself on being a good father to his only son, Michael, who was now 17 and in his final year of high school. John had dedicated his life to ensuring Michael had everything he needed to succeed, from soccer practices to college prep courses. They were a typical father-son duo, sharing weekend outings to the local diner, watching football games on Sundays, and taking road trips during the summer. However, as Michael approached the end of his high school years, John began to notice subtle changes in his son. Michael had become more withdrawn, spending hours in his room, lost in his thoughts. He had also grown closer to a group of friends that John had not met yet. While John respected his son's privacy, he couldn't shake the feeling that there was something he wasn't being told. One Friday evening, as John was cleaning up after dinner, Michael entered the kitchen with a nervous look on his face. John paused, sensing the gravity of the moment. "Hey, buddy, everything okay?" he asked, wiping his hands on a dish towel. Michael took a deep breath, his eyes darting around the room. "Dad, can we talk?" "Of course," John replied, motioning for Michael to sit at the kitchen table. "What's on your mind?" Michael hesitated, his fingers fidgeting with the edge of the table. It's about me. I've been thinking a lot about who I am, and I need you to know something important." John's heart raced, a mixture of concern and curiosity flooding his thoughts. "You know you can tell me anything, right?" After a long pause, Michael finally said, "Dad, I'm gay." The words hung in the air like an uninvited guest. John felt as if the ground had shifted beneath him. He had suspected there might be more to Michael's secretive behavior, but hearing the words aloud was different. "Oh," John managed to say, trying to process the information. "I've been scared to tell you," Michael continued, his voice trembling. "I didn't know how you would react." John leaned back in his chair, searching for the right words. He had always prided himself on being open-minded, but the reality of the situation was overwhelming. "Michael, I want you to know that I love you no matter what. You're my son, and that will never change." Michael's eyes filled with tears, relief mixed with fear. "But what if people judge me? What if they don't accept me?" John felt a surge of protectiveness for his son. "You're right to worry about that. Unfortunately, not everyone is as understanding as we hope they would be. But I promise you, I'll do everything I can to protect you from that." As the days turned into weeks, John took it upon himself to learn more about the LGBTQ+ community. He read articles, attended workshops, and even reached out to friends who had navigated similar situations. He wanted to arm himself with knowledge and understanding so that he could support his son in any way possible. One Saturday afternoon, John and Michael were sitting on the couch, a baseball game playing on the TV. The atmosphere was light, but John felt a weight lingering over them. "Hey, I want to help you navigate this," John said, turning to face Michael. "Have you thought about how you want to come out to your friends?" Michael hesitated. "I don't know, Dad. I've told a couple of my close friends, but I still worry about how others will react. I don't want anyone to treat me differently." "I understand," John replied. "But you deserve to be your true self. You shouldn't have to hide who you are. Just remember, you're not alone in this. I've got your back." The conversation sparked a new level of openness between them. Michael began to share more about his life, his interests, and his friends. John listened intently, offering support and encouragement. They would discuss strategies for handling difficult conversations or the possibility of facing judgment. One evening, Michael's best friend, Sarah, came over to hang out. Michael had confided in her about his sexuality, and she had been incredibly supportive. John was grateful for her friendship but also felt a pang of protectiveness. He overheard them giggling in the living room, and a smile crept onto his face. He knew Michael had a good support system, and that made all the difference. As time went on, John decided to take a more active role in the community. He wanted to demonstrate to Michael that he was willing to fight for acceptance and equality. He joined a local LGBTQ+ advocacy group, attending meetings and participating in events. He met parents of LGBTQ+ children who shared their stories, and he felt a sense of camaraderie and understanding. One day, he received an invitation to speak at a community event focused on fostering acceptance in schools. John felt a mix of excitement and apprehension. What if I say the wrong thing? He thought. But he knew that if he could inspire even one person to accept their child, it would be worth it. The day of the event arrived, and John stood in front of a small crowd, his heart racing. "Hello, everyone. My name is John Harper, and I'm the proud father of a gay son," he began, his voice steady. "When my son came out to me, I felt a wave of emotions, fear, confusion, but mostly love. I realized that my job as a father is to support him, no matter what. I want him to feel safe and accepted for who he is." As John shared his journey, he looked out into the audience and saw nods of understanding and appreciation. He spoke about the importance of creating inclusive environments for LGBTQ+ youth, urging parents to listen and support their children unconditionally. When he finished, the applause was overwhelming. It was a moment of pride, not just for himself but for Michael and all the other kids out there who deserved love and acceptance. After the event, John felt a sense of fulfillment. He had taken a step beyond just protecting his son. He was actively advocating for him and others like him. He returned home and found Michael in his room, playing video games. "Hey, I spoke at that event today," John said with a grin. Michael paused the game and looked at his father, intrigued. "Really? What did you say?" John recounted the experience, and as he spoke, he saw the pride in Michael's eyes. "I'm really proud of you, Dad. Thank you for standing up for me," he said, his voice sincere. "Always," John replied, wrapping his arms around his son. "You deserve to be proud of who you are, and I'll always be here to support you." As time passed, Michael's confidence grew. He started attending LGBTQ+ meetings at school, joining the GSA, Gender and Sexuality Alliance Club, and even participating in Pride events. John was there every step of the way, cheering him on, attending events, and meeting other parents who had gone through similar experiences. However, not everyone was accepting. One day, Michael came home visibly shaken. "Dad, I was bullied at school today. Some kids found out I'm gay, and they made fun of me," he said, tears brimming in his eyes. John felt a surge of anger and sadness. "I'm so sorry, Michael. It's not right, and you didn't deserve that. Did you tell a teacher?" "I did, but I just feel so alone," Michael said, his voice barely above a whisper. John sat beside him on the bed, wrapping an arm around his shoulders. "You're not alone. I know it feels that way, but we're going to get through this together. You're stronger than they know. We'll talk to the principal, and I'll be there with you." They scheduled a meeting with the school principal the following day. John prepared Michael by discussing what they would say and how to approach the situation. When they arrived at the school, John felt a mix of determination and anxiety. He wanted to ensure that Michael felt supported, and that the school would take the bullying seriously. The principal listened attentively as Michael recounted the incidents. John chimed in, emphasizing the importance of creating a safe environment for all students. "No child should ever feel unsafe or unwelcome at school," he asserted. After the meeting, the principal promised to take immediate action, implementing anti-bullying campaigns and educating students about diversity and acceptance. Michael felt a sense of relief, knowing that his father had fought for him. In the following months, John and Michael worked together to create change in their community. They organized events promoting inclusivity and awareness, inviting parents and students alike to join the conversation. John continued to speak at events, sharing their story to inspire others. As graduation approached, Michael felt a mix of excitement and anxiety. He had applied to several colleges, and while he was eager to embark on this new chapter, he was also nervous about stepping into an environment where acceptance was not guaranteed. On the night before graduation, John and Michael sat together, reminiscing about the journey they had taken. "Dad, I couldn't have done this without you. Your support means everything to me," Michael said, his voice filled with gratitude. "And I couldn't be prouder of the person you've become," John replied, emotion swelling in his chest. "Just remember, no matter where life takes you, you are never alone. I will always be here for you." Graduation day arrived, and as they stood together in the crowd, John felt a wave of pride wash over him. Michael walked across the stage, his head held high, a testament to his strength and resilience. As he received his diploma, John cheered louder than anyone, knowing that this moment was not just an achievement, it was a celebration of love, acceptance, and the unbreakable bond between a father and his son. In the years that followed, the journey continued. Michael went on to college, where he found his place in a community that embraced him for who he was. John remained an advocate, fighting for the rights of LGBTQ+ youth and supporting families navigating similar journeys. Through it all, they learned that love knows no boundaries, and the most powerful thing a father can do is stand by his son, unwavering in support. In the end, it wasn't just about acceptance, it was about understanding, connection, and the deep bond forged between a father and his child. Together, they faced the world and emerged stronger, ready to embrace whatever came next, hand in hand. 10 Down WJ, where creativity meets impact. 10 Down WJ, E-N-T